Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you? Mic check. Mic check. Waifu. Tell, is that you?
I feel like I'm in for some sadness today, but I'm here, brother.
Hey, thanks for joining me today, brother. We got a lot to talk about, including my watch of Haikyu, but we're gonna get into that later. I want to start off mic check waifu by, as always, thanking our sponsor, Lube Complex. Go to lubecomplex.com and use that offer code waifu to save on your entire cart. Thank you so much for the support you've given Lube Complex on our behalf. We appreciate you there. And I will also like to thank our Patreon producers. Our Patreon producer, Deep Prince, who actually shout out to him, who gave us today's topic. That's going to be later on in the show. Monique Williams and Connor, thank y'all so much for supporting the show. We appreciate y'all. At that producer tier, it means so much to us. We love you. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. And all of our other Patreon supporters, we appreciate you as well. It means a lot to us that you want to support our dream. I would also like to give a shout out to Tell for the shirt design that I'm rocking right now. That's in the Mic Check Waifu shop. This is the convenience store Waifu Mizu. You can get the full body print at teespring.com/stores/Mic Check Waifu. All of that information will be in the show notes, including our sponsor. So make sure y'all check out those show notes because we have a lot of stuff in there.
I just want to say I've never been a hater. I'm hating today on that shirt.
Shirt's pretty clean.
How did I draw that? And I'm just salty that I don't have it.
She's beautiful. I love it.
It was a great idea to just make it, blow it up. It's that simple. Just blow it up and it looks wonderful.
It's so premium too. It feels so nice. So nice.
So nice.
But today we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna be discussing the anime that we watched. And like I said, D Prince gave us the topic of the greatest swordsman or the greatest swordsman techniques. What are our opinions on that? And then obviously we're gonna talk My Hero. But first, we're gonna start off with the anime we've been watching. So, where do we want to start?
What you think about that latest episode of ID Invaded?
Man, so you know what's so funny? We had the lost homie on last week's episode of Mic Check Waifu Show. Shout out to him and Black Anime Podcast for joining us, and I enjoyed that. And that topic where we discussed plot and world versus characters, I absolutely love the plot and world of ID Invaded, but I don't give a fuck about none of these characters. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, right. I was thinking that to myself. I was getting ready to tweet that out to the lost homie, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the show. Yeah, because like I truly do not care about nobody in that show, but the whole premise and the world of everything and the way it's going down, I like it a lot, man. I like it a lot.
I have to agree. It's like the characters themselves don't feel like they garner a need for me to care about them, right?
Yeah.
But the story and where it's headed, the direction, the whodunit scenario, all of that, I actually love, and I'm super like invested in that part of it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I'm like, man, that the way they structure everything is so perfect. But do you even know the people's name who is like investigating all this stuff? Like, yeah,
you're right. I don't. I have no idea what the names are. I also don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
The only person I know and the only person I want to know, and the only name I actually remember is John Walker.
Exactly, and John Walker because he's like the big bad, right? He's the antagonist. So
yeah,
I remember what's his name? Fuck, I don't remember his name apparently. But our detective dude. Fuck, I can't even remember.
Is it Akata or Sukata?
Sukata or something like that. That's crazy, man. I don't remember anybody from that show. But when I'm watching the show, I'm enjoying the hell out of it thoroughly, though. Like for real.
Yeah. So Akihito, that's his name.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So when I was watching the show, right, like, and I never realized actually that I had not paid attention to the characters' names at all. Yeah. The only character I actually care about is John Walker, but that's been since episode when they introduced John Walker, episode 2, episode 3.
It was 1.
I don't remember seeing him in episode 1.
Yeah, because they didn't really say who he was, but it was a glimpse of him, I guess.
Yeah. But regardless, like the idea, the concept that there's this phantom being who is creating these serial killers and murderers and whatnot. To me, that concept is amazing.
Yeah.
And it makes me, that is, like I said, the world I'm invested in. The characters, not so much. Like if all these characters die and they like had a new season 2 with all new characters, I'm like, okay, I can see that.
Straight up. Like, and it goes back to the topic we had last week. I didn't think if this was me talking last week, I didn't think that the plot or the world can carry a show like the Lost Homie was saying. I didn't think it. I just didn't agree with him on that. But now I have to say, man, he's right, because this is the first show that, well, not really the first show, because a lot of shows has done this, but like this show definitely is carried by the world and the plot for sure, and that definitely put it in perspective. So I just had to shout him out for that. But I tweeted about it a little bit earlier. You caught up on Plunderer?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's
I saw that you. So here's my thing. I was gonna watch the Plunderer, and when I saw your tweet, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna wait on that.
Oh my god, bro!
You literally sat there and said like it holds itself back. I'm like, well, I don't want to watch this then.
It does, man, because you got the situation to where the main dude is like super. He's like the Brock of this anime, and it's like they try to do these little comedic beats with him and how he feels for girls and how he always getting turned down by girls, and it just don't fit
it's not cutting it.
Yes, it doesn't fit this world that seems to be so that could be so well established and so just well thought out, but it's so conflicted with trying to be a comedy that it's doing everything wrong, man. Like this most recent episode got him in another town, obviously, with another branch of officers. This chick is trying to capture him. He finds out that she's actually a good person, so he's gonna like help her out. He helps her out, and he end up getting to fight this other captain that's been looking for him. And again, it's so many wrong turns and twists that it just don't make any fucking sense. Like comedic wise, like it shouldn't be a funny anime.
Yeah.
If this was a serious anime with the way they got this world and the structure and the actual plot, like it'll be good. But it's trying not to take itself too seriously. And this is one that should actually do so. Like it should take itself seriously because it'll be more interesting that way.
And it would draw us into the show more.
Yeah, exactly. Because I literally don't give a fuck, man. So stupid. Oh, we also need to add him to that list of swordsmen too, because he's actually a swordsman. Whatever his name is. I don't even remember. True. He's a ballot holder though, so apparently that makes him important. And
his name was a super common name, wasn't it?
It's super common, and I can't even remember it.
His name is in like every single anime. All right.
Licked was his name.
Yeah.
Licked.
Oh, was it Licked? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, one of the anime I want to talk about, which the Lost Homie agreed with me when I said this might be one of the sleepers, is Inspector.
100% agree.
You caught up on it?
Binge, bro. I'm all caught up.
Inspector to me is just like, you actually kind of like the characters.
Love the characters.
I'm liking right now the Kodako versus Saki stuff going on.
That's my favorite part.
And it was beautiful that when they leave, like at the last episode, when they leave like the house, and Kodako is like walking, trying to figure out where Kuro has gone. Literally, she sees him fighting.
Yep, the person they're going after.
Yeah.
Which is Nase was.
Yeah.
I forget.
Karen Nanase.
Like, yep.
Nanase Steel or something like that, because she has the steel beam or something like that. And enlarged breast, even I guess that those are her natural born talents.
Gosh, I love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is though, like, so this is one of those stories that I think has benefited from slow progression, yes. Right? And that's something you had always talked about, is that like sometimes a slow progression is more than enough. And when you overdo it and try and overcompensate with super fast storytelling or anything like that, it gets mumbled and lost. And this show, I personally feel like is doing it well. I'm glad that you're agreeing with me.
100%. Because what you said was, because remember when we first talked about this, I think, what was it, 3 weeks ago, actually?
Yeah.
We talked about the show starting off with those 45-minute episodes or whatever the case may be. And you said this one wouldn't have benefited from that. Like, it's done right. And I totally agree with that. After watching that first episode, with how slow they take in the storytelling and trying to build this world and what it's actually about, has been perfect for that 25-minute mark, that week to week. It sucks because you want to know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah, and you want more.
Yeah, you want to be able to binge it, but it's almost it's the cross to the T. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like it's perfect. It just flows so perfect. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Like when she was talking to the water god, or the former water god, and she was just the snake serpent, and she was just snake serpent. That was redundant. It was redundant as hell. But when she was talking to him and explaining the situation when it came to the murder of that dude and what happened and why it happened and why she said what she said, and that shit was just so intriguing to me, man. It was. This is a phenomenal show.
Well, I also thought it was interesting how, in that part specifically, how they played to the idea that yokai or deities or spirits might not see things the way we do, right? Yeah. And obviously,
and vice versa.
Yeah. Obviously, the writer of this story has no idea like what an actual yokai or anything might think, but that was beautiful to even conceptualize it and put it down, and even show, like, I almost felt a little invested in the girl who threw her baby in the water. It was like, yo, like, I get why you were super sad. I still think it's shitty what you did.
Straight up.
But I get why you were sad. You thought he cheated on you, and you're in Japan, and in Japan, being a single mom ain't the business.
Yep.
So, like, I'm thinking like, okay, well, boom, that's actually kind of intriguing. And then she's like, well, I need them to find this, not knowing that, the serpent god gets the lake cleaned all the time. Yeah,
which is just a crazy concept, but extremely dope nonetheless, man. It's a great show. It's definitely second to Darwin's Game, but it's like neck and neck second. You know what I'm saying? It's neck and neck second, bro.
I like that. And see, all that is like, it's not even all the action, because we haven't really seen much action other than him getting his arm bit off.
Exactly. So
right now, this is going to be the first real action scene. The storytelling has been on point.
Absolutely phenomenal, man. And I can't wait to see what happens between Saki.
Oh yeah,
Saki and our girl.
Because I think here's what I think is going to happen. Right, is that now that she's seeing that Kodako has, like, kind of trying to sink her teeth into Kuro, Saki's going to be like, well, maybe I can be with him even if he's only part human or anything like that, right? Yeah.
She's shitty for leaving him for that, though.
I mean, come on, bro. Let's be real.
You can understand why, but come on, they were engaged, bro. Like, that shouldn't change the way you love him just because he's different. You know what I'm saying?
I entirely agree.
Y'all work through it.
Yes, yeah, but I understand.
100%.
Like, come on, bro. Let's be real. If you walking down the street with your girl, and you're like, oh, we're having such a wonderful night. It's so nice and beautiful outside. It's a nice warm day, and all of a sudden you see this sea monster that's like, I'll fucking eat you. And then all of a sudden your girl is looking at the monster, and the monster's like, oh my god, you are scary. Like, hey, I'm about to back up off you because you crazy, girl. Let me go ahead and turn around. Come on, bro, for real. A monster is scared of your girl?
I'm like, hey, that's dope. Let's go. You so tight. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, though. That's my baby. Yeah, exactly. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of get it, because she's like, because before that she saw his hand get cut and instantly get healed, and she's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So
it's like everything's adding together.
Yeah, I kind of get it, because maybe he's a monster himself and just in humans, a wolf in sheep's clothing, I guess. But it's a great show. It's a great fucking show, man. I love it. So yeah, between those two, that's actually some dope stuff.
That makes me pretty hype. You have no idea.
You want to know what else I've been watching though? Before we get
What's
into the meat and potatoes of this, two shows I want to bring up because they're kind of like intertwined with each other. And what was it fucking something the Dendrogram?
Okay, Infinite Dendrogram.
Infinite Dendrogram, and I don't like to get hurt, so I'm gonna max out my defense.
Okay.
I don't like to get hurt, so I'm gonna max out my defense is better than Infinite Dendrogram for me because I only watched the first 2 episodes of each.
Okay, yeah, I got it. We watched both the same episode. I have to watch the 4th episode, Infinite Dendrogram. I watched 3 episodes of Dendrogram.
Okay, so I'm only on episode 2 on that one, and I'm only on episode 2 of the maxed out defense one. The maxed out defense one is so it's like my kryptonite, man. It's the overpowered isekai that I just love so much, man. It's so because it's like as an MMO player myself, you think about the rules of this world. I'm absolutely riding with it, man. And I want a MMO like this so bad. Like she maxed out her vitality. Obviously, vitality means defense and health points.
Yeah.
She goes out and trains in the forest, and a little bunny monster comes and attack her. She's like, "Oh, this doesn't hurt." She's getting attacked by this little bunny monster, and she's just letting him do it because she doesn't want to hurt it, but she also wants to level up. So she's letting the bunny attack her, and that's getting her to gain like these different resistances and more defense, and it's just building up her stats like passively. and like she's becoming this tank that's like almost unkillable because like the way she just is specking out her character and the shit. It's just a great, I don't even know how to explain it really, but it's just a great, adorable isekai that I'm all for, man.
And that's what I was going to say. Is it because it doesn't take itself too seriously, but actually gives you some relevance to like actual MMO?
It doesn't even, it's not that it even not takes itself seriously. It's just a show of a girl playing a VR MMO, right? Or a, full body MMO, whatever they call it in this world. She's just playing it, and she's playing it how you would normally play it. She's just doing it. You know what? Instead of specking and fighting, I don't like to fight, but I don't like to get hurt either. So I'm gonna just max out my defense. She's just doing that, just constantly doing that. So she's fighting this dragon in this dungeon. The dragon is spitting poison at her. She's popping potions, kind of like to time the poison, her getting poisoned plus like her heals. She's timing that because like she had a bunch of extra potions to the point where she would just like almost res back up to full health as she's almost about to die from this like this dragon dungeon boss, and she gains resistance from poison completely by just keep constantly grinding that motion. And like it's something that doesn't happen in this world. She also, when she fights this dragon, she fights it because her weapon breaks. So the way she decides to fight it is by eating it. So she also gets skills from that too. It's wonderful. She beats that boss by herself in a dungeon where it's like a 5-man raid or whatever. She ended up getting this rare gear that if it breaks, it comes back, it repairs itself and it becomes stronger, but it only becomes stronger in defense. So it's like everything is so perfect for her that it's going to be a wonderful show. Like a more interesting show, I think, than Dendrogram. Dendrogram is cool and all, and I like it's like its little backstory it got going on, like its little background maneuvering they trying to use, but I'm just not that interested yet.
Yeah. I didn't find it like ridiculously good. I need to see more of what these embryos do and how they evolve and whatnot. That'll be more interesting for me.
Yeah. Do you like the embryo system?
I think it's cool because to me it seems like a unique pet for every character, every person who plays, right? Yeah. And I think in an MMO, like for instance, I'm a D&D player, right? Yeah. I want each of my players to have something unique to them. Mm-hmm. So to me, I think that concept itself is super cool. Mm-hmm. It's just more of how it's utilized, right? Like if everyone can truly have like an own unique like embryo, that'd be super dope. Like if they could program, there's 1,000 different options for each embryo, which means that there's a million different combinations you can get. Yeah. That idea itself is super cool, but that's just like any MMO where you have like a bunch of different skill trees, and you can kind of spec into each skill tree.
Right.
It's the same concept, just with a character that helps you or something like that. I think that's cool.
True.
And I would like to see that implemented in some more MMOs, but I don't play that many MMOs, so that's just your area, brother.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I like it, but it's just like it's not a must watch for me. I definitely prioritize the Shield one over this one for sure.
Now, I do want to say, since you're watching an isekai, right? Or you're watching a couple of isekai. I actually just started Wise Man's Grandchild.
Yes, finally, bro. I love that show.
And so far, it's really good.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I was like, oh,
Yes.
oh, I like this guy. Like,
Right?
yeah. I'm kind of, I feel bad for him that he died in the beginning like that.
Right.
But I like him. He's dope.
His intro was
weird bombs.
right. His intro,
Or hydrogen bombs.
his intro to him coming into this isekai was probably the best of any ones I've seen. Like I've seen a bunch of isekais, and his intro into coming into this world was probably the most interesting, opposed to the other ones. Well, no, I take that back.
Like this.
I take that back.
Yeah, the
Reincarnated as a slime. Yeah, yep. They did it better than this one. You're right.
Well, I mean, I think it was pretty similar. I think Reincarnated Slime gave you.
Whoa, your mic cut off. We lost tempo.
You can't hear me?
I couldn't hear what the last thing you said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Reincarnated as a Slime, in my opinion, they just gave you an idea who the life, but it was only like.
You did cut out again. Sorry.
I don't know what's happening. All right.
Am
I good?
Yeah, one more time.
All right. Reincarnated as a Slime gave us an idea of who the main character was.
Yeah.
For like that first minute, and then they killed him. This one, you saw that character for 15 seconds and he's dead.
Yeah, that's true. And then Reincarnated as a Slime, like you saw him slowly dying, and they were like kind of building his character inside of that process after he was stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah, you're right. That one was better.
But I will say, I still liked it because, I mean, you saw the guy die, and it almost gives you an idea of like, when you die, you can be reincarnated in another world, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
It was real dope.
So far, I'm enjoying the show. It's hilarious and like actually seems really good and well animated.
Yes, let's go. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Really, really glad about that, because I was worried you wouldn't, but it gets better.
Yeah.
And I like their relationships too between all the characters. And then last but not least, the meat and potatoes of what we've been watching. Twitter finally reminded me to watch Haikyu. And I end up starting a thread, and I stopped the thread because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save my thoughts for this episode. Episode 34 might check waifu, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
I binged the entire first season in the span of like 2 days. It's definitely a sports anime. For everybody that said this is more slice of life, this would be perfect for you, Polow, was wrong. This is 100% a sports anime. And it's so fucking great, dude. It's so good, dude. Oh my God, bro. Holy shit. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh my God.
It definitely, okay. Y'all might call me crazy for this, and my OGs may not feel me on this one. But after that season 1, man, I'm almost kind of thinking it's better than Initial D. I'm almost kind of thinking it. I love Initial D to death. It's one of my quote unquote favorite sports anime, I guess, because I don't really have that money under my belt. Besides the box, what was that boxing one? Megalobox and
Megalobox.
This one, Megalobox, this one, and Initial D are like my sports or my competitive anime that I've seen under my belt, and it's definitely better than Megalobox for sure. This fucking anime is so great. I'm so attached to these characters. I couldn't go straight into season 2 though, because I needed a fucking break because it was such an emotional drag. But I was so invested, bro. I'm like, I know so much. The way they teach us regular ass normie people who know nothing about volleyball is phenomenal, man.
Oh my goodness, bro.
What kind of anime does pacing and teaching of a sport this well?
And character development.
Yes. Character development, top notch, bro. Fucking animation.
So I'm just gonna tell you, it gets so much better.
I can't wait, bro.
Like, so I just finished season 2. I'm into season 3 right now. And like I said, I'm not gonna give you any spoilers because I actually really enjoy this show. Like, I think that if it continues, like, because after season 2, I was like, couldn't believe it really was gonna get better than season 1. Season 2 was like way better. And season 3 so far starts off with a bang, and you still see more character development. It's like killing me. Like, I had no idea. Like, imagine this: you have characters doing something and trying to get better at something for a whole season. Yeah. And then season 2, they're still trying to get better at it, and they finally like start showing like. Oh,
don't even say that, bro, because I don't.
Just imagine Black Clover if Asta actually or actually did work and became great.
Oh yeah, that is Listen, there's nothing better than going into this show knowing absolutely nothing about it, because that was me. That was completely. Yeah. I just knew it was a sports anime. I didn't even know. Same here. I didn't even know what the fucking sport was. To be 100% honest with you, I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. Before, like, people told me it was volleyball. Like, literally 3 weeks ago, I learned it was volleyball. Okay, even though the name of the show is literally just titled volleyball, but in English. But yeah, I literally thought for the longest time that this was a soccer anime. I'm like, this. I'm definitely not watching it. Soccer too. Like, I really don't care that much about soccer. But I heard it was volleyball, and then everybody was saying, man, it has this slice of life. If you like Polow, that was a lie. Y'all all lied to me. Okay. Barely. There's no fucking slice of life. It's sport into this anime all throughout. But I am not mad at it because I learned so much about volleyball, bro. I'm a pro.
And it also feels like the action, it almost feels as intense as like a fight. Right?
It remained even more intense than a fight.
And then, like, I love the moments between Kageyama and Hinata. Yep. Like, I saw in your thread, you had said Kageyama was going to piss you off, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the character Kageyama and Hinata now? I don't think you said anything about Hinata.
Hinata is a GOAT. I love Hinata. He's like,
because he works hard, right?
Yeah, he's one of the best characters ever of any anime ever. Period. The other bull, he still gets on my fucking nerves, but he got so much better in season 1, dude. Oh, like, all the characters are really good. Like, you enjoy all the characters. I can't even say I don't. It took a while, though. At first, I thought it was going to be too much, though, because the first episode, they were like throwing characters at you and they didn't say their names. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was doing that. I just feel like I was like looking back and forth, like, what the fuck is going on? But no, this show is great, man. I'm starting season 2 probably tomorrow. I started it. I got halfway through episode 1, but I'm like, I need a break. It's just too much. It's too much.
You have no idea how impressed I am. I mean, so when I finished season 1, though, I did take like 2 from the anime. It was like, all right, I need a break.
You took what off?
When I finished season 1, I took like 2 days off from the anime. Yeah. I was like, all right, I need to watch something else because
straight up, that's how I felt.
I was like, I started, and I did the same thing. I started like got to halfway episode 1 of season 2, and I was like, all right, give me a break here. Let me set this aside and let me watch something else that's less serious because I'm liking these characters, and if they lose, I'm gonna cry.
Dude, I'm like, man, fuck. Oh man, it's heavy. It's definitely heavy, and one of the better ones I've seen in a long time. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch Initial D just to see if it holds up. Because
after all these years,
yeah. Okay, this was just great. This is just great. People's like, oh, I'm waiting for Polow to respond. Like, what's going on? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just save it for the show.
If season 2 or if season 3 is better than season 2, I'm gonna have to my top.
Oh, it should rearrange your top 5.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I feel you. I mean, I gotta watch the rest of it because it's gonna be hard to get in my top 5.
I agree. I feel like it sliding into my top 5 is gonna be hard, but if season 3 is better than season 2, it'll slide in. But season 4 is still in the making right now.
Yep. I'm not. There's no fucking way in hell I'm even starting season 4 until it's done.
Because you want to binge it, right? Because you don't want to ever for this. I can't imagine the people who watch Haikyu now
waiting week to week.
Absolutely
Fuck that.
Not. Dude, holy shit, no.
The way they close each episode, cliffhanger after cliffhanger, and they're so strong cliffhanger. Like, fuck that. No, I'll wait till it's done.
But we got like 2 movies to watch, I think, or a movie to watch or something.
Oh, do we? Holy shit.
Yeah, I ain't no way. I'm gonna have to wait for season 4 to be over for sure.
No, 100%. There's no way. No way.
I am happy you're enjoying it though.
So this entire time, our pod listeners, Tell thought I hated it.
Dude, I was shook, bro.
I said literally nothing about it. I gave no body language on what I felt about it on purpose just to see his reaction on when I said it was fucking great.
I was like, yo, if he hate this show, I don't even know Polow no more. Cause like okay, I get it. It's not slice of life.
Not at
right?
all.
It's not. But I knew for a fact in my mind, I'm like, it's a fact regardless. If like I gotta say it's slice of life-esque, so he'll watch it. Like I'll line a Polow, so he'll watch it, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. But I'm also thinking like once he starts it and he starts seeing character development and character growth and dynamics and stuff like that, he gonna love it. And when I saw that you didn't say anything after like the 3rd episode, I was like, did he hate it?
Dude, when they played Daytech, bro, I stood up on my goddamn chair when they won that match, bro. I'm like, let's fucking go, dude. No, not Daytech. Was that Daytech that had the iron wall? Daytech was the ones after. Who had the iron wall?
That was Date Tech. Because I think that was what's his name? Because the iron wall dude,
the big dude with no eyebrows. They called him no eyebrows.
Yeah, he is part of that school.
Yeah, okay. So it was Daytech. Dude. Oh my God. The fucking all right, you know what else that got me?
What's up?
The dubs, bro.
Are they good?
I never seen any. I watched a lot of anime. There's no dubs better than Haikyu. It's insane. It's insane, the quality, bro. It blew my mind. Like it made me reevaluate other dubs. I'm like, man, is this really good? I don't think it's really good because Haikyu did that shit so much better.
Let's go.
I need to figure out who that studio, because it's on Verve dub, but it's dubbed via High Dive. Yep. So I gotta figure out, like, I gotta check out more of their like exclusive dub stuff, because that shit just fit so well. It blew my mind because it felt so natural. I felt like I was watching fucking Avatar. Like it was crazy.
I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, man. I loved it, man. But we're gonna take a quick break. We got a real big topic, unless you got another anime you want to talk about, Till.
Nah, bro, that's it. I'm on a high right now.
Dope. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break. We got a real big topic for you coming after the break. It's gonna be based off of one of our Patreon producers, D Prince, or Kush by that Bush, as known on Twitter. Follow the homie. We're gonna come back with that topic, and the topic is: who are the greatest swordsmen, and what is the greatest swordsman technique? And we try to eliminate like power wise, like try to eliminate their whole powerful abilities or their like magical power, or what's the way that we could use it? Otherworldly powers. Yes, we try to remove their otherworldly powers and think of them as just swordsmen. So we're gonna talk about that after this break. This break, we planned a good friend of mine who was actually on my older brother's podcast many years ago. The Addicts. It's Tay Miles. It's Wahoo Village Warriors. He's super Cleveland. But I feel like this song embodies Haikyu. That's why I really wanted to use it for this break, because the boys are warriors.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this.
Run up on the mark and jack. Brown my kids need Apple Jackson shit. Split up the nation like fashion. All cause I like my heater clack and click. Just kill me now, cause that's bullshit. They say the way we live is foolish. My young niggas fresh out of that pulpit. Next thing you know, they be back on shit. Whoa, you tryna say my mama, she'll feel sorry for who she raised. You made a big mistake. Yeah, they say I shouldn't have a smile on my face, cause I've been a gorilla for miles out the gates. Rampage like I'm tryna wipe up my race. Then I tell my attorney to close up the case. I'm from where kings get dug. Diamond coated slugs. Not many are built like us. Wahoo Village warriors. Warriors, 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 warriors. This just how it gotta go. Let's do the thing go. Upper class up there just judging us. Wahoo Village warriors. Warriors, 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 warriors. I'm from where kings get drugged. Diamond coated slugs. Not many are built like us. Wahoo Village warriors. Warriors, 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 warriors. This just how it gotta go. Pistol dipped in gold. Upper class up there just judging us. Wahoo Village warriors. Warriors, 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 warriors.
Welcome back to episode 34 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. I don't know if I said that at the beginning, but it's episode 34 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Make sure y'all follow our Instagram at Mic Check Waifu Waifu and our Twitter at Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Tweet us anything y'all got for us, any questions, comments, concerns, anything y'all want to hear on this show, or just stuff like that. We like I said before the break, we do have a fantastic topic from our boy Kush by That Bush on Twitter. He's also a Patreon producer, so that's also, part of the reason why his topic is being brought up on the show. But let's discuss it here. Now, Tell, if you would do me the honors of queuing up Kush by That Bush. Question for the show.
So, Mr. Kush had presented us with an awesome question about swordsmen, right? And obviously, swordsmen in any capacity are awesome, amazing. We talked about them in Japanese culture when it came to movies or anything like that. But we're talking about anime. So he basically wants to know, what is our favorite swordsman? What makes a swordsman great, and what kind of criteria do we grade them by? The greatest sword technique, and then the greatest swordsman of all.
So let me just preface this by saying I am not as knowledgeable when it comes to swordsmen in anime, because I really, that's just not my wheelhouse. Like, I'm not a big swordsman battler anime watcher. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I do have some thoughts. I'm putting in minds where necessary, but I don't have that broad of a spectrum to go from like D Prince does, or even Tell. Tell knows more than I do about this particular topic, but we're gonna touch on it the best we can. So where do you want to start, brother?
So do you want me to start with my favorite swordsman?
Yeah, let's do it.
So anyone who knows me knows I rave about Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Yep.
Thus, my favorite swordsman comes from that very same anime, Iki Kuragane. I love him. He is my favorite swordsman. And to me, it's just very easy to say why, right? Like, okay, he's hated by his father of his family. Yeah. And he grinds and works super hard. My dude does not play around. He literally worked his butt off, has dropped blood, sweat, and tears for everything he's ever gotten, never asked for a handout. Goes into a school of people who have infinite amount of power, and all he can do is swing his sword, right? All he has is sword techniques. And that's kind of like where I enjoy about him so much is that, or what I enjoy about him so much is that he only really has he has sword techniques, but he only really has one thing to put him or differentiate himself from everyone else, whereas everyone else has these super high powered fire abilities, ice and air and everything like that, and he has to hit you with his sword.
That's a great one. Damn, that's a show from a while ago too.
Yeah, you know I love that show.
It's a great show. It's a great show. Okay, so for me, when I think of my favorite swordsman, I think of my favorite swordsman and the greatest swordsman of all time are these. I mean, he falls under the same branch for me, but I'm gonna just start with my favorite swordsman being Himura Kenshi from Rurouni Kenshin. It's like he's absolutely my favorite because, I mean, for one, he was like the first one I really watched other than Inuyasha, but he was the first one I really watched and like was like, yeah, man, I like this guy because of his morals. And that's what makes him a great swordsman to me, was his morals. He killed enough people in his day to where he basically just stopped killing in general, but he still used his great swordsman technique to neutralize enemies or whatever have you. And the way he did it, he was super smooth. He had the drip. He's definitely my favorite. And actually, I think he's the greatest of all time too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite of the swordsmans.
So, speaking of the greatest, right? What makes a swordsman great? That's the next level. So, like, what makes a swordsman great? Why? What do you grade him by?
For sure, I grade him by his morals. Like I said, his morals as a human being, from his past to what he became later, is what makes him great to me. Like, that's what I'm grading him by. And also, his fucking technique was so clean. It was so clean, man. You look up some old videos of some of his fights and the way the way he drew his sword. Even Kush by that bush, we'll read his in a little bit. But he say he like drew a vacuum every time he drew a sword or some shit like that.
Yeah, he could pull his sword so fast a vacuum was created.
It's insane, bro.
Remove body parts. So, I'll get into his technique later because I don't want to talk technique now. Because that's the next part of the topic. Yeah. But I mean, I agree though. Like, what makes a great swordsman is his moral, right? Like, there are swordsmen who believe that you can't take a cut to the back because, like Zoro, he won't take a cut to his back because that's like defiling a swordsman's pride, right? He only wants to take that cut to the front of his body. He did that. He showed that when he fought Mihawk, who is the greatest swordsman in their world. And I actually think that's something great to stand by, is that any honorable samurai or warrior doesn't want a wound on their back because it means they ran away. Yeah. And they want to take that wound to their front. If they're going to die, they die on. And that's one thing I agree with, as well as just overall hardworking and not outright like killing innocents, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if we out here killing innocents, you're not on my greatest sword.
Straight up.
You might actually be the best technique or greatest swordsman of all time or something like that, but you're not going to be my favorite.
Right.
You low-key foul. But
that's not what the culture's about.
Right. Did Kush by the Bush tell you who his favorite swordsman of all time was?
Yeah, he actually has quite a thread on Twitter about it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I have some Facebook people who shared their favorite swordsman with us if you wanted to.
Absolutely, let's start off with that.
So, Rurouni Kenshin is obviously like a fan favorite here. There's like 8 different people in our Facebook group who all Rurouni the first one they brought up.
Good choice.
Isaiah Pika says Afro from Afro Samurai, which I think in terms of, we'll get into that later. Afro Samurai is awesome. CJ said Reinhardt 3-0. Ichigo is just really close to the sword. Literally, like, they fight together. So he and his sword have a bond, right? So they share that power. Now, in terms of power, Ichigo might be one of the strongest, but in terms of like technique, he's just swinging his sword, bro.
Exactly.
Akame from Akame Got Killed. She literally is an amazing swordswoman or swordsman. You know, she has plenty of technique and skill and speed.
Straight up.
My bro Keith says Zoro. hands down, bruh. And then he said Zero from Mega Man, which Zero and Proto Man are both great swordsmen. They're kind of like counterparts, but really Zero and Proto Man are two different people. Isaiah Pika came back again just to say after.
Your mic cut out. What you say?
Oh, Isaiah Pika came back and said Afro Samurai is the short answer, period.
Yeah.
Alexandra Lane, she said Levi Ackerman.
Wow. Somebody from Attack on Titan, which is...
That's real, though. Like,
it
you know,
is.
like, they use a whole different type of technique, which that's what makes that interesting, because it's a whole nother world, like how they're going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Ryan Fonte right after that said, yeah, honestly, Attack on pretty damn impressive in action.
Well, you said what again? Sorry.
Levi from Attack on Titan is pretty damn impressive, is what he said.
Oh, yeah,
Ryan Fonte. And then we have Afro Samurai again, and then Guts from Berserk. Because in the documentary for Berserk, Guts actually learns a lot of sword techniques and gains more skill. Still not necessarily as good as Griffith, but he does end up beating Griffith at some point. So
yeah.
Then we got Mugen from Samurai Champloo, who Mugen is honestly, in my opinion, also the GOAT.
Probably my favorite technique.
Yeah, I would say in terms of technique, favorite, greatest, but his style and his technique is amazing.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about who he kills, though, which makes me like dislike that.
Yep.
But you know, he's still not that bad. Hiei, also from Yu Yu Hakusho, is one of those swordsmen who is ridiculous.
Wait, who said Hiei?
Oh, Christian Nichols.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho is an amazing swordsman, and he just has overall, like, he's just super, super powerful. It's hard to compare him to anything in terms of power.
Yeah.
Robert Lane said, "How y'all just gonna ignore my Rurouni Kenshin?"
No, nobody ignored it. We all.
We don't want to ignore that. We know. So Joe Lee said, you know, he agreed with Robert Lane talking about Rurouni Kenshin is the only answer, right? The Batosai is the only answer. Which, I mean, I agree with. But he also said, Joe Lee said Rurouni Kenshin, Afro Samurai, and Samurai Jack were his three. Samurai Jack obviously is an anime, but you know he does have a great swordsman.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, Philip Woodward. He said Guts, Griffith, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
Was it Ichigo? Oh no, that was me. He didn't say Ichigo. He just talking about how I get to. And he threw some shade at Black Clover because everyone trained with to get their power.
Straight up.
But yeah, that's our list from Facebook. That's a good list right there, though.
It really actually is. So I'm gonna just read all of Kush by that Bushes. His is quite lengthy, so I'm gonna just start Neo. He starts off with saying, first I would start off with the greatest of all time, including powers. I have to go with Sasuke Aizen, which is Captain Aizen from Bleach, which I know nothing about.
He's overpowered.
His sword level is superior. He has a sword that lets you control all of the opponent's senses. Plus, he can regenerate. And then he says one with no powers. He had to go with Himura Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin. He created a vacuum with how fast he drew his sword. I can't see another human being best than him when he was the Baitosai, the manslayer. His line of sword mastery was the only one. Was only one master and one student. Honorable mention. He picked what's this? Jinto Toki. Oh, from Gintama, which I know nothing about either.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Gintama at all.
Me either. A lot of people talk about Gintama being good, though, so we might have to step our game up.
That's one of those, like, it's one of those funny anime, though, where a lot of it is humorous. Yeah. But I think he's actually, like, really good at what he does.
Apparently, he was trained by an immortal demon, and his training was supernatural. So, I mean, you can't really count his technique. But he said an honorable mention for powers are Meliodas, which is interesting. That's interesting. He would beat Aizen, Captain Aizen for him after reincarnating 50 times, but he can still be killed. And you have to give King Bradley his credit with his all-seeing eye. He also gave credit to Captain Yami from Black Clover. He can cut dimensions, but he isn't God tier. Captain Yami from Black Clover.
I do like Yami. I like Yami a lot.
I like Yami as a character, but does he? I'm trying to think. Does he even have a technique?
Yeah, I mean, well,
he draws his sword and slashes, but that's it.
So
Not count. Like, if you don't think about his powers.
So do we account being able to look for ki as a power because it's something you had to physically train for?
I mean, that's not a technique though. That's not a swordsman technique.
But I'm saying like that's one of his.
He can sense that somebody's around him, like,
and their motions. But I mean, I get it.
That ain't gonna help you that much in a fight.
You right. Unless you Mayweather.
I mean, yeah. All we see from Captain Yami is him drawing his sword and doing a spell from a book with his slashes. I mean, I want to see him in a sword battle for real. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Meliodas, I didn't even think about Meliodas being one because I never seen him with an actual sword. I just see him with that broken thing. Yeah. And I only watched the first, season and a half of Seven Deadly Sins.
Well, I forgot about Meliodas because the animation was so bad this year. But okay, all right. Meliodas isn't bad, bro. But I mean, there's so many other swordsmen, and Meliodas really all he ever shows is technique with being fast or blocking, right? Mm-hmm. So he never really shows any real like what I would consider amazing sword technique. Like when we talk about like Fuhrer Bradley. Great swordsman. We talking about Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah. Mugen.
Great swordsman. Yeah. Mugen, great swordsman. Jin, great swordsman.
Oh, Jin, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Kirito and Asuna from.
See, now that's from some from Sword Art Online. Can we count them because that's not in the real world? You know, I don't know how
Asuna trained with a sword in the real world.
Oh yeah, she was a what's that called? That.
Yeah, she was a not jousting. It was she was a fencer.
Fencing. She fenced.
But even so, like you gotta remember, in these games, they're using their real bodies, like motions.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
We even have like Nines from Cannon Buster.
True.
Who was dope. And like I said, when we throw like Jin and Afro from Afro Samurai in there, we got Afro Samurai who was cutting basically meteors in half, and you know he doesn't have any powers outside of him using his sword, you know,
right? Like
that headband doesn't give him powers. So we're talking about a man who can actually cut like a bullet coming at him and rockets coming at him and mountain stuff coming at him without any actual powers is kind of ridiculous.
Afro Samurai versus Kenshi.
I think I would say technique wise, they're actually extremely close. Mm-hmm. I would say Kenshin gets the battle though. But if I had to say power wise, I think Afro Samurai would be faster.
Faster?
I think Afro Samurai would be faster and be able to land a kill blow.
Ooh, interesting. Tell us what y'all think.
I think tell us what you think. But I think technique wise, my boy Afro gets beat easy.
Let's go back to,
easy, but you know.
So Captain Aizen, do you know anything about him? Because all I know is from what Kush said, but I don't really know much about him.
Yeah, he got dogged by Ichigo.
Oh, did he?
Everybody get dogged by Ichigo.
Well, that's true. That's true. He is the main character of a Shonen Jump at that.
Yes. So what makes Aizen cool is his ability to control your senses, right? He is one of those characters who, the overarching bad guy, he plans everything from years and years in advance and is going for what he wants, you know, in the future. I think that's awesome. But like, come on, bro. Like, as a swordsman, he's really just doing the same thing they do in everyone. There's no one there with any real tech.
Yeah, they just kind of slash with their.
And if I had to talk about, my favorite swordsman in Bleach is gonna be Kenpachi, because Kenpachi's just the GOAT. Like, he is just he has to hold back or else he destroys the world. Right. So Kenpachi's the GOAT.
Dude, I must say, after this topic, it had me. I even tweeted this to Kush. I'm like, look, this just shows that I do not watch that much like fighting anime. Like, I don't know half of these people. We got a list here of just people with swords in anime. I mean, you could think about people like Rimuru, which is reincarnated as a slime. When he does use his sword, we don't really even see him use it that much.
But he did train with it.
Yep, absolutely.
Trunks from Dragon Ball.
Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. You got Killer B from Naruto, which I think he should have whooped Sasuke's ass.
Easy.
I hated that. That pissed me off in the show so bad.
You got Vicious from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. Like, I even forgot that was like that. But let's talk about a couple of bad ones, okay?
Bad swordsman?
Yeah. My number one bad swordsman would have to be Inuyasha. That guy's fucking terrible, dog. He's the worst, man.
Oh, man.
What'd you say earlier? What's his best move?
Oh, Iron Reaver Soul Stealer.
and that doesn't have anything to do with his sword.
Yeah, man.
And he's an awful swordsman. You want to talk about somebody reckless? If he didn't have Windscar, he would literally be nothing. He would be another Asta.
Asta Jr.
Yeah, and Asta's terrible. Asta doesn't have sword technique, so we're not even going to talk about that. He just has a lot of strength with a big, giant, great sword.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. When Alex brought up Levi, that blew my mind.
So Levi is I think so. I actually have to set Levi apart, right? And here's my thing. The only reason I have to set him apart is because he's not a traditional swordsman like these guys, right? I feel like everyone on this list is a much different swordsman. Like, Trunks might be the closest to what Levi does.
See, okay. Now, I would disagree. And the reason why I would disagree is because his technique is different. But he uses swords.
I agree with that. But what I mean by is that all of these swordsmen are very two-dimensional. The whole point in what Levi does is meant to be omnidirectional. So if he were to get into a fight with any of these guys, like if he were able to keep up with any of them, I actually think Levi would work almost all of them. And that's just because of the fact that if he had the same speed, like if he were training in the same world of any of these and was able to maintain that omnidirectional gear, he has way too much versatility to not be able to take any of them down. Okay, so that I disagree with, but I see what you're saying now. Like, what you're saying makes so much fucking sense. You're right. Like, I could see why you say he would, but I would say he wouldn't, because when you're dealing with traditional swordsmen, like you can't fuck with that technique. They could just stand still and slice mountains in half. You know what I'm saying? Or boulders in half, or whatever the case may be. I mean, you want to talk about somebody with like movement ability. Look at Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Like, could he mess with Levi? Probably, but I think power wise, he chopped Levi down. I think in terms of like battle experience and versatility and maneuverability, Levi's got him beat, especially if they're in the woods. Yeah. But he's not touching Afro. That's... You know what I'm saying? He's not, because, I mean, like you said, Afro Samurai chopped missiles in half. He's not messing with Kenshi. Kenshi just turned his blade around and fucking knock him out.
Yeah, or chop his omnidirectional gear off, and now what? You just have a Levi, a grounded Levi. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. You're absolutely right. He is in a different category because, like, I think he would. I mean, he's destroying Inuyasha. He would destroy
Inuyasha not fast enough.
Exactly. He would destroy Zabuza from Naruto.
Yeah, I think he'd work him. What
about Aizen? Probably not, right?
He can't work Aizen. Aizen's gonna go off on him.
Take off his senses,
Yeah. I think he worked like Mikaela from Seraph of the End. I added him in here.
Oh.
Also, that's what I meant to add in. Hyakkimaru from Dororo.
Oh, true.
Because that boy, his whole body is a sword.
Yeah, we tripped in.
He is dope.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, is he the best? I
mean, his whole body is a sword. Dope, yes. I don't think he can be Kenshin still, but I think he has to have a different type of technique as well, right? His technique is different because he actually doesn't wield a sword traditionally for the beginning fights. That's true. Then when he's able to wield a sword traditionally, he's still able to remove like other body parts and use them as swords, right?
The way he moved though, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His movements are ridiculous. So I would say Hyakkimaru is amazing.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take away everybody's power, okay?
Yeah.
Let's take away everybody's power. Who's winning the tournament with everybody in this list with no power? Like, no magical ability. So no Captain Yami dimension slashes, or no Captain Aizen's I'm going to remove your senses, or who else has some crazy ass power? I mean, everybody has crazy ass powers. The 8 tails right. from Killer B, you know what I'm saying? Super Saiyan Trunks or Flying Trunks, period. He's getting bodied now. I'm going to just eliminate him right now.
So if I had to say on this list, I would say the semifinals would be between these 4 people. These are the 4 people I would choose. Kenshi, Mihawk from One Piece, Afro Samurai, Dororo or Hyakkimaru, and then possibly Levi. Levi would be like possibly in there. That's what I would say. But the first 4 would be who I would choose initially. Mm-hmm. But I think Levi could take out Hyakkimaru. And I'm guessing if we leave Levi with his gear, I guess that's really not fair.
So let's take out. Well, that's your list, okay? I'm gonna throw mine out. Same exact as yours. So just rewind to what Tail said, but take out Levi and put in Mugen from Samurai Champloo.
You know what? You're right. I forgot about it. I'm stupid. Definitely throw in Mugen in there.
Yeah. So yeah, Mugen in his technique, I think will give Afro Samurai a run for his money, but Afro Samurai is just much more powerful than. Yeah,
I think Afro is faster than Mugen too.
Yeah.
But I think Mugen technique wise has Afro beat too.
Yep. So
and I think if Mugen was to get Afro pissed, he'd beat Afro.
Yeah, straight up. And when he's fighting uncontrollably and shit. But yeah, I mean, out of those 4, Kenshi takes it all for me.
Okay. So what is he our greatest swordsman?
I think so, man. Which, I mean, it's up to you. He's my greatest swordsman with the greatest technique.
I just feel like technique wise, we can't stop him. Like, so his technique is actually called the Heavenly Flying Sword.
Wait. Repeat that. You got cut out again.
His technique is the Heavenly Flying Sword, right?
Yeah. So the memories is coming back.
So, like, let's be real though. Who's stopping him?
He was
Flying Heavenly Sword. Yeah, who's stopping him?
He was trained by one. His line is only brought down once. And the only way it can be brought down again is if Kenshi teaches. Yeah, man. He can't be stopped. Like natural ability, he just can't be stopped.
Yeah. The man's ridiculous. I'd have to say he is actually probably the GOAT. For a swordsman. And I feel like it's understandable. Like if anyone argues that, they got to bring a damn good argument.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not even a swordsman guy or any of this. I hope we did your topic justice though, Kush, man. I like this topic a lot, even though I feel like I'm not able to contribute as much because a lot of these I don't really even think about. Like we even had Sasuke, who would be terrible in a non-powered battle with a sword.
Yeah. I mean, I still think Ikki Kuragane got the best technique.
Ikki Kuragane, huh? Yeah.
Only because he got the Ito Shura where he can sacrifice his own life to get stronger. Yeah. If in the right scenario, I think he could take out like maybe Afro. I don't know if he'll take out Rurouni Kenshin, but
Yeah, the problem with that is if he does his technique to take out Afro, he'd be dead.
Afro's very durable.
Exactly. So you have to give you his entire life force basically to kill him.
Yeah. I mean, my man bleeding out his whole body, but he is like the strong.
You said what?
Already. I said he's probably the strongest swordsman in his entire world.
True. I love it though, man. Connor also tweeted me one. Let me read his before we go to my hero talk. I almost forgot about it. I apologize for that, Connor. I love you, brother. He says Yu-Gi-Oh from SAO. The man turned into a sword from his willpower. Get real. But on all reality, Sheta Synthesis 12 from the most recent season of Sword Art with the needlepoint sword. How can we forget about her, bro?
She did have like some dope technique for real.
Yeah, technique wise, she might be. Oh my God, she's slicing people up. Well, because she never used her synthesis abilities either.
Well, her sword has
it is.
You can't. Yeah, her sword is her power. That's true. But if we're talking about technique as well, like she was able to divert attacks with just the tip of her sword,
and it was size of a needle, literally.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro! How can we forget about her? Thank you, Connor. Damn,
good stuff.
She's like way to go too.
Yeah.
She'll destroy Mugen.
Yeah. Well, that's because Mugen's not gonna go serious and he gonna get wrecked. I think even if Mugen does go serious, though, he's getting wrecked.
Nope, he gonna do one of those windmills and his legs gonna be gone.
he gonna stand up on his knees.
Yeah, straight up.
What it's not straight up if he can't stand up.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a great topic, man. Thank you so much, Kush, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry that I'm not too versed. But I do feel like we gave it some justice, man. Let us know if you like that. But this was a great conversation. I enjoyed it. And now this is the portion of the show where we get into our My Hero Academia talk. We talked this most recent episode, so there will be full spoilers ahead on that season 4 episode, whatever.
Episode 80?
79, actually.
Is that what it is? Episode 79?
Yep. All right. What you think, Tel?
I think this episode was a good relaxer episode because, I mean, we did just come off like a hype and then they gave us a death and now we finally feel like we get to relax and cool down again. And these high school students get to actually be high school students for a change, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, we haven't even fully gotten into that, but we get to see like a glimpse of them not having to be heroes, you know?
True. This was the episode where our boys take their provisional test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just make sure we're on the same page. I feel like I was missing something.
So I just think the way they dove into it kind of quick. Yeah. You know, like how we were talking about Inspector earlier, like the pacing is great. They just had a pacing issue this entire season, but they felt like they kind of dove into it quickly, but it's the provisional license. And we know that these characters are being punished specifically because they have above average talents.
Yeah.
But they performed poorly because of their egos.
Exactly.
Which I think is great for character development.
I loved, yeah.
So I think that's a great step in the right direction for this season. Because like I said, this season in the anime the manga was my favorite season, but I don't think it lives up to the manga hype. But I think this is a good start. I think this next episode is pretty dope because the kids fighting the UA students, and the Shiratorizawa students. So that's gonna be dope.
Like you said, this pacing for this entire season was thrown off, including this episode. A lot of it was like the pacing was terrible, right? But it didn't make it a bad episode. The episode wasn't bad to me. It just, I don't know. I feel like they've been doing what they've been doing all season, and that's just kind of slowly dragging on episodes just so they can, pad out the season a bit. It's so evident that they're doing that, and it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit.
Like they playing us.
Yeah, like they intentionally just. It's like, okay, let's milk this, because they don't want to catch up to the manga too fast. But
yeah, I mean, and I hate that, and that kind of is that's kind of what Black Clover does because they're continuously going. But the manga is, in my opinion, so far ahead enough that by this point they could go like a full year of episodes and not necessarily catch up.
Mm-hmm. But if they do the pacing if they did it, let's just say this episode didn't exist and we just went to the next episode, how close will we be towards the manga? You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be closer towards the manga than not.
It'll be this, yeah, we wouldn't even, technically if we go to the next episode, we didn't even go anywhere closer to the manga.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they could have gave us most of this episode in one day,
right? Or
gotten us through the day with the other students and then got us here.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I get that. I just, they could have done it better. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue that because, like I said, I was super hyped for this season. I'm still enjoying it, but it could have been better.
Yeah, I do like this episode though with these kids though, because they kind of explain what the kids' ideals were at the preview of the next episode. So they're going to explain that next episode, which they could have just left this episode out and gave us next episode, but whatever. They explain their ideals, and their ideals is that we want to show that we are more powerful than even the adult heroes.
Yeah, and the reasoning is also really dope because they were talking about how like the parents are super scared about the future.
Yeah, because
the heroes aren't necessarily living up to what they should be,
as heroes,
and they don't know if the kids are gonna, or the high school students are gonna be able to do it. So it's also like, damn, like how are we going to? We have to look towards the future. So these kids know they are the future. Yep. They also know that their quirks are technically better because they're fused quirks. Like as you live on through life and you have families, you mix quirks together. So basically, these kids are mixing quirks from their families, and eventually they're gonna probably have superior quirks. They believe wholeheartedly that their quirks are stronger than the students and the heroes.
Yep.
So they're gonna try and assert their dominance, and this episode will show us, where our students stand.
Yeah. So to be honest, this episode was kind of just a means to get us to the next episode, which sucked. I mean, not again. The episode wasn't bad, but it's just kind of like dragging us through now, which is understandable because you're right. After giving us a death and kind of like lulling us, coming down from that high, quote unquote. We kind of needed a break, but to be honest, I didn't really need this episode. Like we could have literally, we both could have skipped this episode and not talked about it on episode 34 and been still just as fine.
Yeah, they could have been like, ain't no breaks though.
Yeah, straight up.
They definitely could have did that for us.
Yeah, straight up. So, I mean, not much more to say about this episode. I think that's a wrap then.
Yes, sir.
That'll be a wrap for episode 34 of Mic Check Waifu. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. D Prince, thanks so much for the topic. We appreciate you, brother. We will catch y'all next week after we talk about our social medias. I'm at Polow Bornfly on Twitter.
And I'm at King Teliano. I also just want to say, quote, Polow said, Hinata is the GOAT.
I did?
You did. I wrote it down because you said it. Hinata is the Polow said that. Rewind it.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
One way or another.